Allow me to reflect briefly, Mr. Speaker, on the global environment and the historic shift in economic power that is taking place before and around us. In 2012, global output is projected to expand by 3.3%. That's a far cry from the average of 5–6% we are used to. Advanced economies are expected to grow 1.2%, while developing Asia will grow by 7.3% during 2012, and sub-Saharan Africa by 5.5%. Negative growth is forecast for the euro area, impacting on trade in many other economies, including our own. In the last 5 years, the Chinese economy has expanded by 60%, and India by about 45%. Advanced economies barely show any positive growth. A recent World Bank study argues that new growth poles are redefining the global economic structure. This study predicts that emerging economies will grow on average by 4.7% a year, while advanced economies will grow by about 2.3% between 2011 and 2025. The speed of transformation is unprecedented and places emerging economies at the center of the global economy. Emerging market multinationals are playing an ever-increasing role in reshaping global industry, including marked increases in South-South investment and foreign direct investment. The evolving world we face presents us with both challenges, but more importantly, opportunities. Financial commentator Martin Wolf recently wrote, and I quote, "Shaping this new world into a cooperative and flourishing order is going to prove extraordinarily challenging. History suggests that such times of transition, however inevitable and however just, are fraught with conflict and instability. Today, the Western dominance of at least 2 centuries is under severe challenge. This period of transition is unlikely to be any less fraught than those that have preceded it." End of quotation. It's quite an important point, honorable members, that this world around us is changing. The change is not going to be easy. Those that have had economic and other power are going to try to hold on to it, and those that are emerging are going to say, "I want some of it," or "I'm going to build my own." To succeed in this environment, we have to seize the opportunities presented by this changing world. As a major mining economy, we should be benefiting more from the continued buoyancy in commodity markets internationally. We also need to take advantage of rising demand for agricultural and manufacturing goods. Some 85 million manufacturing jobs in China will shift to other countries over the years ahead. The question for us is, do we have the right policies, conditions, and above all, boldness to enable South African businesses to gain from these immense shifts in patterns of production and trade? And that's what we need to answer as South Africa together. There are expanding opportunities on our own continent. Africa is the second fastest growing region in the world, as you saw. This growth is sustained by high commodity prices, but also reflects a youthful, increasingly educated population, rapid urbanization, and a new entrepreneurial spirit. 10 years ago, there were fewer than 10 million internet users on this continent. Today, they number almost 100 million. As well as developing South African business interests in the continent, we should use the strength and sophistication of our financial system to turn our country into a true gateway for investment into and development of Africa. Both the National Development Plan and the New Growth Path recognize that to compete in the global economy requires flexibility, innovation, and leadership in government and the private sector. We have to build a more adaptable economy. This requires more effective and dynamic partnerships between government, civil society, and the private sector. At the same time, the crisis and its aftermath have revealed intractable problems in the old system. Growing inequalities in income and wealth have undermined economic growth and social well-being, and indeed social cohesion. The difficult task of moderating and reversing inequality requires active government intervention. The truth of the matter is, unregulated capitalism is clearly in crisis. We've got to go beyond it.